In today's live stream, I would like to discuss some revision questions, which is important questions for your second PU oncoming exam. So I've taken the model paper, which has been given by the government of Karnataka, and we will solve this model paper. And if you have any doubts regarding these questions and you need more explanation, please be free to ask them. So let us start our session now, and all the best for your upcoming exams. So here I have got the model paper which has been given by the government of Karnataka. So let us begin our session now. So you can look here. This is the reduced syllabus which has been given by the Karnataka government for the present year. So I'm going to discuss these questions, and any doubts you have or any suggestions you have, please comment on the comment box below. And also I will be sending the link of these papers down later. How I plan to do this is, I will give the question, I will read out the question for you, and if you know the answer, please put it on the comment box below, and later we will discuss each of these answers. And if you need further explanations, please do put it on the comment box so that we can take up the topic and go into more depth. So let us begin our session now, and very much good luck for all of you for this upcoming exams. We can see the set of questions in part A. Part A, we have 10 questions, and all the questions need to be answered, and each question carries 1 mark. So here we have the first question. You can see here, answer the following questions 1 into 10, so 10 marks. Each question carries 1 marks. The set of questions that we have here is, first question, expand CMOS. Second is, which basic gate is also called as inverter. Third, what is an array? Fourth, give an example for primitive data structures. Fifth, what is function overloading? Sixth, define base class. 7, name one characteristic of public visibility mode. 8, how to declare a pointer. 9, what is a database? And 10, what is a tuple in a database? So what I plan to do is, we'll take the first 5 questions, and if you know the answer, please put it in the comment box below. And we will continue discussion with our model paper as we go about. So we have the part A, first question, expand CMOS. I would like to give you all around 10 seconds so that you can just type in the answer for me. So if you know the answer, please type in the answer in the comment box. Yes, someone here. Good afternoon, and Narayanan. So if you know the answer, please put it in the comment box. Expand CMOS. I think afternoon, all of you have your food and you're sleeping, but that's okay. Yes. Okay, the next question is, which basic gate is also called as inverter? What is an array? Give an example for primitive data structure, and what is function overloading? So if you want to look at these answers here, yes, CMOS is complementary metal oxide semiconductor. So that is the definition for CMOS. Okay, so we have here C, complementary metal oxide semiconductor. So this is actually expanded for us as CMOS. So this is actually a lithium battery which is found in your motherboard, and it is used to set up the date and time parameters on your motherboard. Okay, the next question, it says, which is the base, which gate is called as the inverter? So the NOT gate is known as the inverter gate. Okay, the NOT gate is known as the inverter gate. So if you remember the symbol for the NOT gate, Okay, the NOT gate is like this. Okay, the symbol for NOT gate is like this. You have a straight line, okay, and then you have a triangle with a bubble. Okay, so this is a symbol for NOT gate, because sometimes in the exam they may ask you to draw the symbol for NOT gate. Like there are 2-3 questions related to the same question. One is, it says that okay, somebody asks, what is a semiconductor, madam? Okay, a semiconductor is it's a material which is going to help you do all the transistor related jobs. Okay, we'll come to that later. Maybe you are a physics, you can ask your physics teacher better, but I can get it back to you later. Let's just look at the NOT gate here now. See, the NOT gate has two, three questions based on NOT gate. One is what is the symbol for NOT gate? Then you need to draw the symbol like this. Okay, please draw it more neatly with a proper straight line. It's one line here. Yes, and it's just one line with a triangle and a bubble. Okay, this is a symbol for NOT gate, and you have an output like this. For example, it is X and the input is X, then the output will be X complement like this. So this is a symbol for NOT gate. They may ask you which gate is called as the inverter. Then again you should say NOT gate. Then there is one more question related to it. It says that what is which gate? I mean, inverter is also known as which gate? Then you can say it is a NOT gate. Okay, so there are 2-3 questions related to NOT gate. Okay, the next question we have is, what is an array? So this you would have learned in your first PU itself, this question. So an array is a collection of homogeneous elements with unique name, and the elements are arranged one after another in memory locations. So what do I mean by saying homogeneous elements? See, the word homogeneous means the elements are of the same data type. That means if I am going to declare an array, for example, let me say if I am going to declare an array like this, okay, int a of 10, okay, so I have declared an array like this. So that means this elements a of 10, they are all going to be of the type integer. That's what we mean by saying homogeneous elements with a unique name. So what is the name of the array that we have given here? We have given the name of the array as A. So all these elements are going to have the same name, that is A. And how many elements are going to be there? There are going to be 10 elements here. And also these elements so how do I know which element I need to access? For example, if you are taking about your class students, you will be called as second PU science students or second PU commerce students. So how will I going to identify each one of you? So either if I am working in your place, then I know that, okay, I will know you by your name. Otherwise, I will be knowing you by your roll number. So like that, if I want to access each and every element of the array, then I need to give something known as a subscript or an index. So that's what is that's how I am going to access the elements of an array. And always you should remember that the subscript starts with 0 and it ends with n minus 1. It ends with one number less than the total size of the array. So here if the array is 10 elements, it is going to be 10 minus 1, 9, because we start with the index value, the subscript value 0. So an array, when you are asked a question like this, you should say an array is a collection of homogeneous elements with a unique name, and the elements are arranged one after another in adjacent memory locations. Why we are saying adjacent memory locations? That means, for example, if this is the memory location, if it starts with, let us say 2000 here, okay, since int is 2 bytes, okay, this will be 2002. Okay, in your compiler int is 4 bytes, but I'm talking about the Turbo C++ compiler which I'm using. So here it will be 2002. Okay, the next will be 2004, next will be 2006, next will be 2008. So by knowing the first address of the array, we can be accessing all the elements of the array. So in the exam, you don't need so much of detail, you just write this. It's a collection of homogeneous elements with a unique name, and the elements are arranged one after another in the memory locations. Hope I am clear. Okay, we will go to the next set of questions. Okay, the fourth question, it says, if you see here, the fourth question says, give an example for primitive data structures. So what do we mean by primitive data structures? See, primitive data structures means these data structures are already being given by your compiler. You are not going to create these data structures. You are not going to create any memory for these data structures. It is already there. It is fixed. So which are the primitive data structures that we have? So in the lesson data structures, this classification is given. So the answer will be this: integer, floating point, character, pointer. So it's a 1 mark question. Just write any one, or for a more safety thing, you can write 2 answers. So integer, floating point, any 2 you can definitely put on. Okay. Then we have this one. The next question: what is function overloading? Okay, so if you observe this in the reduced syllabus from each chapter, they have given one question. So these are simple questions. You need to understand each part of the question and answer them. So here we have the answer for this. What is function overloading? Okay, what is function overloading? Here, if you see, okay, function overloading means 2 or more functions having the same name but differ in the number of arguments and the data type of arguments. Okay, so that is known as function overloading. So function overloading means 2 or more functions having the same name. So for example, if I want to calculate, let me say if I want to calculate if I want to print 2 integer values and print print 3 float values. Okay, so I can give the same name of the function as print. Instead of giving different names for each of the function, I can give the same name, and also only the arguments and the data type of the arguments differ. So what do I mean by that is, just I'll give you an example here. Okay, so for example, if I say int, okay, int print, I'm just putting here int print, okay, and in bracket I'm putting one value, let us say int n, okay, and I am just going to print the value of n, okay, and then I am going to put again, let me say float, okay, and then I'm going to type here float print, and I'm going to print 2 float values. So I write float a, okay, and then I write float b. Yes, sorry, it's kind of, yeah. Okay, so here I'm just, so here I'm having 2 values, okay, one is float print, and I'm going to print 2 values, okay, float a comma float b, and then in the this one you can write cout less than a less than, you can give 2 values for a and b. You can just say a is equal to some value, okay, you can say a is equal to some float value and b is equal to some other float value. I'm having some problem with my mouse here, so I'm not able to type in fast, but that's okay. You can just put some value for a and b. You can say a is equal to 10.0 and b is equal to 4.5, and then you can just cout less than a less than b. Okay, now you can have one more this one, you can just say float, okay, you can just say float, and then you can print, okay, float and print, and let me say I'm just putting I'm just writing here float c, okay, and then I'm going to print the value of C. I'm putting some value for C. C is equal to some 10.5, and I'm going to print the value of C. Now, what I said about function overloading, it means two or more functions having the same name. So you can see here the functions that I have put here. So this function name is also print. Here this function name is also print, but differ in the number of arguments. So how many arguments are here? We are having two arguments here, A and B, and if you observe here, we are having only one argument. So you can see here, this is one argument, this is one argument. So totally there are two arguments here, and here there is only one argument, and the data type of or the data type of arguments. So here I can have any type, like I can have int or float or whatever. Here I have taken both as float. So here I can have one more function. I can say like this, int print, okay, and then I can say here again, I can just say int d. Okay, so if you can see, these two are, the name of the function is same, but here the arguments that is being passed are different. So this is what we mean by function overloading. Hope you have understood all these questions. Okay, we'll go to the next set of questions here. Define base class. Now, whenever base class comes, please remember this is from the chapter inheritance. So inheritance chapter, there are a few important questions, few important definitions. It's a very easy chapter, but the definitions should be written as it is. So define base class. Okay. So what's the base class? So a base class is nothing but a class whose properties are inherited by another class. Okay, it's also called superclass. So a base class is a class whose properties are inherited by another class. That means it is going to be a class which is going to give its properties to another class. That's what we mean by saying base class. Okay, the next question is, name one characteristic of public visibility mode. So public visibility mode means what? This is also in the same chapter, inheritance. Public, the word public here means what? The base class, if it is going to be public, okay, the public members of a base class becomes the public members of the derived class. Okay, this is clear. And go back to the next question, how to declare a pointer. So how to declare a pointer? How to declare a variable? We declare it as data type, variable name. But here, since it's a pointer variable, we need to put the indirection operator. This asterisk which we use for multiplication is known as a indirection operator. Okay, so we say here data type star variable name. So here for a normal variable you will say data type variable name, but here you need to put this asterisk, and you have to write an example. You have to give an example. You have to say int star ptr, where ptr is a pointer variable that can hold the address of a integer variable. Okay, so here ptr is this is called as a indirection operator. So this is known as a indirection operator. Okay, and then the ninth question says, what is a database? So the word only that is there, data, something related to data, isn't it? And the next question is, what is a tuple in database? So the group of logically related data records is called a database. So what do I mean by saying a group of logically related record? See, logically related records means, for example, when you go into taking your application form for your first PU, all these first PU students are being put into one file. Okay, their name, their address, their phone number, okay, their personal details are all put in one file. So they are saying like, okay, this is a first PU application file. So all the students who have been enrolled to the first PU and you have joined to the college, those is put into one set of files. So they are logically related records. So here also, when we feed into the computer, each row in your table is known as a record. Okay, and they are related to one another. So that is called as a database. Yes. The next question is, what is a tuple? Okay, it is not tuple, it is tuple. Tuple is nothing but records are known as tuples. records are called as tuples. So for example, if you can see this table here, for example, I put 1 and somebody's name here, address here, phone number here. So this is called as a record. Okay, this record is also known as what? This record is also known as a tuple. Yes, so we have completed the 10 questions. We will quickly revise them. Okay, so expand CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor. NOT gate is called as a inverter. Array is a homogeneous set of elements with a unique name and which are arranged in memory locations, adjacent memory locations. Okay, example of primitive data structure is your integer, your character, your floating point. And function overloading means functions, two or more functions having the same name but differ in number and type of arguments. And what is a base class? A class whose properties are inherited by another class. And one characteristic of public visibility mode is what? When the base class is public, the derived class members also become public. And how do you declare a pointer? You write int star, okay, variable name, and then down you will write int star ptr as an example. What is a database? Logically related data is known as a database, and tuples are nothing but the horizontal rows or the records in a table is known as a tuple. Hope you enjoyed this session. Since this is my first video streaming, I think I need to do, I'm planning to do this like 2 to 3 times a week, so that we will be able to cover more model papers and it will be helpful for you for your upcoming exams. Hope you like this session. I would be doing the part B, part C and part D of this set of model papers also. So please do join when the link is being posted in your groups. Have a nice Sunday. Thank you for watching.